Incredibly short, incredible short stories.
The Band. James wanted to form a band. He played the lute. One day, while practicing, a giant donkey dragon nipped him. James shot 50 feet in the air and then crashed down, breaking his lute. He attempted to glue his lute back together, and while doing so, he accidentally glued himself to the wall of his house. Fortunately, his cat Woof was home. Woof jumped on his head, removed James's wig, and shoved it in his face. It turned out that James was allergic to his own hair. He sneezed 20 times and blasted through his wall. While laying on the cement outside of his house, James had an epiphany. He wanted to be a bass player. As he was covered in hair, house, and bits of loot, James decided to shave himself clean. In the process, he removed his skin. Not all of it, though. The palms of his hands and the soles of his feet were left untouched. Everything else fell to the floor like a used bath towel. James took his skin to Madame Shellicose, who heavily insisted that she was not a turtle. She was, however, a psychic fortune teller. When she was done reattaching his skin, Madame Shellicose told James his fortune.
Beware of trains in strange places.
James thought it was an odd fortune. He loved trains. James thanked Madame Shellicose, stepped outside, and was immediately hit by a passing train that was engineered by the same giant donkey dragon who had nipped him earlier. On that train, there were several musicians who were traveling the countryside in search of a new bass player for their band. The water bottle. Sue and Fred were exploring the forest. A ghost appeared on the trail and began juggling fireballs. Sue and Fred ran as fast as they could. They only stopped because Fred tripped on a rock. Sue helped him up, and they realized they were lost. They picked a direction and walked. After a while, they happened onto a cottage. There was a light inside. The two walked up onto the creaky porch, peeked in the window, and saw a dusty water bottle on an old wooden table. As they watched, a pudgy ghost monkey's head appeared from the spout. It wore a helmet and had 32 eyes. The monkey climbed from the water bottle carrying a trophy. The ghost monkey paused to put on roller skates and then rolled to the wall. It looked at the kids, waved, pulled a lever, and Sue and Fred fell into a dark hole full of bones that rumbled and echoed. They heard the clicking sound of wheels over wood above and looked up to see the ghost monkey staring down at them.
Finally, my replacements.
The monkey dropped the trophy in the hole. The hole closed, and the clicky wheels rolled off. Purple Sheep Stadium. Zombie was an alien from the planet Kakaduo, which was destroyed by an asteroid filled with stinky bugs. Zombie came to Earth by falling through space. He slipped through a skylight in Purple Sheep Stadium while the band Taffy Pants was performing. The guitarist was just about to take a solo when Zombie landed in the hole of her acoustic guitar. Zombie had never heard music before, and with each strum, Zombie screamed. His screams were picked up on the microphones, and the audience thought it was the weirdest, greatest guitar solo ever. They began doing silly dance moves. With each strum, Zombie also began to grow. Eventually, Zombie burst through the guitar. The band was shocked, but they continued to play. Zombie landed on the stage. He danced silly dance moves along with the audience, and he continued to grow with the music. Everyone was having a great time, but no one noticed that Zombie was outgrowing the stadium. When his head and shoulders burst through the roof, Purple Sheep Stadium collapsed on itself.
Hello, this is Bernard something or other of KRZY Radio's Totally Boring News. I'm standing outside of Purple Sheep Stadium and you won't believe what I'm witnessing. There's a woman fleeing the scene with 17 kittens clinging to her clothes. I have no idea how, but this is happening. Well, that's all there is to report. Back to you, Bob.
Zombie continued to grow until the stadium was completely destroyed, as well as the entire town of Kiss's Crystal Cats. Zombie got so big that he fell off the earth. With a strong enough telescope, he can be seen doing silly dance moves across the galaxy. Disclaimer: no one was hurt in the making of this story, except for maybe one acoustic guitar. One band member was quoted as saying, "Ha! At least we weren't killed!" Later, after the making of this story, he was killed. Frankie the feline. Frankie lived with his owner, Jackie. Frankie hated water so much that he refused to drink the stuff. He lived on warm soda and cat snacks. When Jackie moved them to a houseboat in the bay, Frankie became convinced that Jackie was trying to kill him. Frankie was suspicious of his owner. He'd watch her as she'd cut his cat snacks with sharp knives. He kept a close eye on Jackie and wondered, if she was wicked enough to move him onto the bay, what other horrible things might she be capable of? Frankie began having nightmares in which Jackie was a demon singing lullabies to him. That was when he decided he needed to scare her away. He started by pretending he was dead. Jackie just thought he was sleeping. Frankie taught himself to walk on his hind legs and would jump scare Jackie with the chicken dance. Instead of scaring her, Jackie thought it was cute and she would dance along. Frankie tried leaving booby traps in the litter box for Jackie, but sadly, Jackie preferred to use the toilet, and Frankie ended up setting off his own traps. Finally, Frankie decided to frighten her by pretending to be a dog. Without any fancy costumes, he covered himself with dirty laundry and lunch meats. Frankie did a terrible job of looking like a dog. He did, however, look like a demon, and Frankie scared the snot out of Jackie. She grabbed the demon by its collar and threw it far out into the bay.
Coming up next is Rhyme Time Chime Crime, Mime Crime Slime.
Crispy cat bacon and the funky foods. Pencil. I like flying lampposts.
Of all the animals, snakes crap most.
Pizza with anchovies stinks like dirty socks.
Some anchovies keep 2 birdies in a box.
Cats and kittens clamp to a skyscraper.
Mr. Jones eats bones. He's a pine creeper.
Huh?
Double laughs coming from a tower.
A giraffe stands on the head of Mr. Bauer.
A purple slug festooned with earrings.
I get all of my phone dings.
Circumstantial cut bunny fight.
You should be there at all my kids' rule.
Alligator drool and a peek at the pool.
Are you ready to see the epic trail mix tape dispenser fight?
Horns of glory fly a kite. Somebody dancing funny. I looked at the sky, it started raining bunny.
That night I saw quite a fright. A big bunny carrying a light.
This morning, my dog took a big bite.